We are now live on YouTube and Facebook. Chairman, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Welcome to the meeting of the Administrative Operations Committee of the Public Building Commission of Chicago being held today, September 25th, 2024 at 1 p.m. Director Gitterell, please call the roll.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman Maldonado.
Here.
Commissioner Randall. Here. Chairman, we have a quorum.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the meeting held September 4th, 2024.
Move to approve.
Motion approved. Next item on the agenda is public participation in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. Registered speakers will be allowed 2 minutes to provide comments.
No speakers to the chairman.
Thank you, Ms. Pat. Next item on the agenda is report by Executive Director Rick Gitterell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I start, I wanted to thank both you and Commissioner Randall for the support and guidance over the years. Without your support, we'd be in a difficult situation. So thank you both personally and professionally. Today, PBC is pleased to present the two budgets, the proposed 2025 Daily Center operating and capital budget and the proposed 2025 PBC administrative budget. Both represent a positive outlook for PBC. As previously reported to the board, 2024 represented an opportunity to welcome new and renewed relationships with our municipal and county partners for opportunities to reshape communities and public facilities. As a direct result of the PBC's strategic efforts, we are happy to report a balanced budget for fiscal year 2024. In addition, PBC has worked diligently to ensure the proposed 2025 administrative budget remains flat by carefully managing our resources and expenditures where we can meet both immediate needs and long-term goals without compromising fiscal responsibility. With support from our chairman, the Board of Commissioners, and our municipal and county partners, PBC's projected work in place for 2025 is currently trending up. We are proud to present a diversified portfolio of investments across various sectors. This approach ensures resilience, mitigates risks, and opens new opportunities for growth. With this budget, PBC is moving forward confidently and strategically, ensuring prosperity for all while safeguarding our future. To that end, I ask our Director of Finance, Tanya Fouché-Weekly, to present the proposed 2025 Daily Center operating and capital budget and the proposed 2025 PBC administrative budget. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Commissioners, and thank you, Executive Director Ray. Today, I will be presenting to report to you in section D. First, we will be focusing on the proposed 2025 Daily Center operating and capital budget, which is located in D1. The Public Building Commission of Chicago and Transwestern are pleased to present their 2025 operating and capital budget for the Richard J. Daley Center. The overall operating goals for the Daley Center continue to be ensuring that the security, health, and safety of all building occupants, pursue new renewable energy measures, and bolster building safety and emergency preparedness. One of our primary operating goals from 2024 was to procure the tenancy of the retail space on the concourse level, of which we have completed that. The building has executed a lease with Cafe Descartes to replace Starbucks. Cafe Descartes is anticipated to occupy the space by Q4 2024. Leasing of this vacant space will provide a rent stream as well as providing tenants and visitors a convenient place for beverages and a snack without leaving the building. The anticipated increase in our retail stream is $6,734. With this, we will go into our 2025 operating expense budget. That budget is projected to be $21,760,788, which reflects an increase of 4.39% over the 2024 budget, or $915,527. Primarily, the result is a factor of annual increases to utility expenses stemming from enhanced operations of the building's mechanical systems and annual increases to union cleaning, security, and engineering wages, which are also contributing factors. The Daley Center operating and capital budgets are allocated among each of its tenants within that occupied space within the building. For 2025, the tenant percentages are as follows. Allocation to Cook County is 94.92%. The City of Chicago, 0.344%, the Illinois Liquor Commission, 0.739%, Illinois Workers' Compensation Commission, 1%, and the PBC, 2.985%, based on the square footage for each of these tenants. The 2025 capital improvement plan includes projects that will consist of the it will consist of the ADA, building security enhancements, courtroom lighting upgrade, building riser infrastructure assessment, security replacements. These will be totaling $2,783,209, which represents a $1 million increase from the 2024 capital budget presented. Also to note, 7 of the projects from 2024 will be carrying forward into 2025 as we will complete continue to work at completing those capital improvement programs. That concludes my report for the Richard J. Daley Center.
No question. So for your capital improvement plan, do you have sort of a 5-year, or how far out do you look as far as improvements and how you schedule it?
So we do a 5-year assessment plan. And we also work with our largest tenant, the county, to ensure. So first we get a third-party assessment, and they come back with the 5-year capital program and plan. So then we start budgeting and looking at all of those projects and align them out over that period of time. We also work with our largest tenant, which is the county, to ensure that we're able to, as we put these projects together, how is the budgeting going for that? And sometimes there are delays in, matching for what it is, which is why the county has committed to carrying forward a lot of the capital improvements that we had budgeted for 2024 into 2025, which is not normally what occurs. Normally, we'll have to close out the fiscal year in November when the county is closing their out, whether they are able to, we could complete everything or not, we close it out. So this year we were able to work within their budget and where we wanted to go with it to ensure that we can get those capital projects completed. Overall, once we get past the 5-year assessment, whatever hasn't, been able to be completed within that assessment, when we bring out and they go, come back and do a new 5-year assessment. I believe we're at year 4 of the assessment. We're at year 3 of the assessment. So we still have 2 years to get through everything, but we'll continue to touch base on where we're at, and we will continue to try to ensure that we can get everything done within that. But we're not at any critical points of needing to do a capital improvement that would affect the tenants or the security measures within enhancements within the building. Of course, those will always be pushed to the forefront and, have to be done.
Does the county or any of the tenants, do they ask for, as technology evolves, they want to do some significant upgrades or changes? How does that work?
So it's 2 different things. So sometimes if it's part of the capital improvement, that's one thing. But if the county has specific things that they want for their spaces, then that's more of a tenant improvement, right. And there'll be 100% on the county to fund. Okay. So they do certain things. We got the electric car and putting in those charging stations in that we're working, through. The county wanted a certain number of those. We did consider that more in the actual building because that is a overall building improvement. But, if there was additional allocated spaces or where they would be, some portion of that could be high. At this point, it's 94% for them anyway, right. But it can become 100. So.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Without any other questions, I'll move into my second report for today, which is the Public Building Commission's administrative budget. And that you will find in section D2 of your books. So, as Ray had mentioned earlier in his introduction, over the last year, we have taken the time to reset and re-energize here at the PBC. Because of these efforts and initiatives, we are proud to present a WIP that encompasses a more diversified portfolio of investments across new and renewed sectors. If you look at section D2 on page 2, the WIP slide, it shows 2 scenarios, being our proposed planned WIP, which was presented in our 2024 administrative budget at the last year at this time. As you can see, where we were at to where we are now. We were at 70, we had a planned WIP of 74 and a proposed of 43 for 2024 and 2025. As of today, we're very happy and pleased to report that we have a projected of 149 for fiscal year 2024 and even further trending upward for 2025, a plan of 183. This is an increase of 75 million for this year and 140 for next year. On the second page of this, we've broken out and took a look at how diversified our portfolio has become. And we have broken down by our different agencies and sectors based on a percentage of the fiscal year for 2025. This pictorial display shows the PBC has really pushed towards our commitment to increasing our WIP and also to diversify into other areas and markets and tapping all around. We continue to look at this. We also have a 2026 that is already strong and where we're going with it and a positive trajectory for fully committing to a future and a further increase upward for the next upcoming year. So last year, I also reported the PBC will be operating in a deficit between resources and expenses. I am very pleased to report that is not the case any further. The PBC is projected to end the fiscal year 2024, not only with balanced expenses, but also with a surplus. Our current projections as we enter fourth quarter 2024, as seen on this historical resources and expenditures slide, projects that the PBC will have a $1.4 million surplus as we rebuild a deficit incurred during the pandemic years. As we close out our CPS programming from fiscal year 2019, we can collect our final administrative fees, which are valuable towards the PBC rebuilding its reserves. Additionally, our increased WIP that I identified earlier and our renewed and new partnerships, specifically with CDOT, has added resources to our 2024 budget year. As we look towards our 2025 budget year, we anticipate this pattern to remain similar and our outcome to be the same. For 2025, we are anticipating our resources will meet our projected administrative expenses with a marginal increase at this current time, but we do project that will further increase as the year goes on, as we have further planned WIP that is forthcoming, but not yet announced. With that being said, our proposed 2025 administrative budget expenses on the final page show an overall flat increase of 2%, or $175,709 from our 2004 budget. Our total administrative budgeted expenses of $8,575,171. We have variances that we were reporting on that exceed 10%, either positive or negative. We have one variance that exceeds 10% in the negative format is of our insurance. Insurance of $957,000 is what we are budgeting, and this is attributable to our insurance for the Daly Center. This consistently is a variable that increases year on year as based off of security measures and affects our commercial insurance as well as our property casual insurance, and that we have also an active assailant insurance that we have added to our insurance portfolio. Also, though, we have a 30% positive decrease in our legal fees for this year, as we have continued to ensure our legal fees and monitor our areas. We have been able to decrease our legal fees specifically within the PBC. It's not reflective of our project budget legal fees, but specifically for in-house legal fee matters. So I just don't want that to be misconstrued that there are legal fees that occur from a project level that is a separate, that is allocated with specifically within our project areas. But those With that being said, those are our two variances that exceed the 10% that we are reporting on today. Our commitment to fiscal responsibility, as proven here, is driven to implement strategic measures aiming at continuing to optimize the dollars that we spend. We remain committed to upholding our commitments and standards of excellence, delivering our projects that matter, and ensuring that the PBC continues to be a beacon of fiscal responsibility and effective public service, as we have demonstrated with our strong outcome and over challenging results within the last year. That concludes my report for the 2025 PBC administrative budgets. Thank you.
Question and comment?
Yes.
With the insurance situation, so how often do we request proposals for insurance coverage? Is it the same vendor we've used for many years? or-
So we go out to the market annually, but we do our, we, next year we will be going out for our RFP to procure for our insurance vendor overall, which James is, we have that out there, and it's been a few years since we've done it, but we do have, they work with us. We go through Mesero Alliance, who is our insurance broker, and they go out to the market to get the insurance, where we usually, this is the time of the year we present it. It is a factor of our WIP as well, and it is also a factor of the building, so that it will, go up and down based off of that. We've seen a larger amount of an increase over the last 2 years, specifically within the commercial. And so what we've done and what I've taken and really tried to do is to look at the analysis, because we don't get the numbers until after this season. And so we have been a little in an unfavorable area with that when we come back with the actuals. Now, while it's a reimbursable largely for the building, we still want to ensure that both the Daily Center's budget and our budget is a reflection of where we really want to be. So I did increase it because what we have been noticing is a larger increase there. We've been able to remain relatively flat from the property perspective in it, but it's with the commercial. And as we know, it is just from a lot of the threats that's going on out here within the, municipal buildings, and this building being at the location, the windows, and it being a courthouse, is just no way around those type of things.
Thank you. And then I just want to recognize the improvement in the WIP. It's really impressive, and that says a lot about the work that you're all doing here, because I know sometimes it's a struggle. After I've been here a long time now, but sometimes it's a struggle. So that's a credit to the work that you all been doing. Thank you very much. That's your, oh, yeah, move to accept the reports.
The report is accepted. Excuse me. Next item on the agenda is report by Director of Finance, Tanya Boucher Weekly.
Just did that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was a good report. He wants to hear it again.
Yeah.
It was a good report. We want to hear it again.
I apologize. Next item on the agenda is report by Director of Procurement, James Portman.
Good afternoon, Chairman Maldonado and Commissioner Randall.
Good afternoon.
I have a few reports for you this afternoon. The first, in your books, you'll find the task orders awarded to our specialty consultant service providers. This month, we issued one task order for environmental engineering services for the Malcolm X College Learning Center located in Washington Park. The task order was issued to ECS Midwest in the amount of $52,138.80. That's the only one.
What's that location?
Do you know where the green line stop at 55th and Garfield is? Right next to that.
That's great. Thank you.
Any other questions?
No.
My second report is an update to our construction manager at risk. And then my third report will be the design builder program. So as you know, on behalf of our clients, CPS and 2FM, formerly AIS, the board previously approved various construction managers for several projects. As the initial guaranteed maximum price is updated via amendment, we provide an updated CM report to the board. As you may recall, we last provided the report in April of last year. Since that time, we have updated 6 of the GMPs. So in your committee packet, if you turn to tab E3, you'll see that report. Those amendments that are surrounded by a red border have no change since the April report. And those with a green border have been updated. Those with a green border, I'll read out loud. Palmer Elementary School Annex and renovations, Dirksen Elementary School Annex and renovations, Kenwood Academy High School renovations, Lakeview Health Center, the Juvenile Intervention and Support Center, and last but certainly not least, the Pershing East building upgrades. Any questions on the CM report? No. The next report is the design build report. The design build report is formatted in the same manner as the CM report. Since the last update, we have a couple of new ones. So I'm going to read all the names here so that we're clear what's on the design build report. We have the Hancock Replacement School, Engine Company 115, the Joint Public Safety Training Campus Phase 1A, and the Joint Public Safety Training Campus Phase 2. And that's what we have for the design build report. Any questions on either the CM or the DB reports?
So just the amendment to the GMP really is a reflection of, is it a change in scope, scale?
Generally, as the projects are developed, we start with an initial guaranteed maximum price. And as we're developing with our CM or with our DB, and we learn more about the project, it adjusts accordingly. So sometimes it will go down, as you can see. Palmer obviously went down. As we get closer to closeout, we return that money to the project and then eventually to our client. But we committed to the board to make sure that we provided updates at regular intervals. And I think going forward, I think it makes sense to do it this time of year at the annual meeting. Makes sense.
Great.
Good question.
Thank you.
My next report on item E2. Unfortunately, that one will be moved to the next month, November. We're hoping to provide design architect services, as you'll see in your packet. We were hoping to have the information available, but we haven't received it yet, so I apologize for that. And then last but not least, everyone's favorite, the amendment report. We only have a few, so shouldn't be but a minute. Our first one is to Munsterman Services LLC, doing business as Multivista. You guys are very familiar with them. They're our photographic documentation provider, do a wonderful job. This is an increase for time only, no money, 1 year. The next is to our 3 design architect service providers, FGM Architects Inc., Leggett Architects Inc., and SMNGA Limited. Again, this is just an extension of their already existing contracts. There's no money associated with this. It's just extending the term of the contract to December 31st, 2025. And last but not least is our audit provider, Deloitte & Touche, who assists Tanya with her wonderful audit report that she gives. This is again, just an extension of their existing contract. There's no money. It's just time until next year's audit report, which would be completed no later than December 31st, 2025. And that's the last of my reports.
Move to accept the report.
The reports are accepted. Next item, report by Executive Director Ray Gitteroff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We don't have any field order reports this cycle that exceed our reporting thresholds. However, regarding the change order report, there is one change order for the Belmont Cragen Elementary School project. It is change order number 8 in the final amount of $75,603.62. And that change order is for the procurement and installation of a second expansion tank in the mechanical room. The mechanical tank, if you recall, was undersized by the architect of record, engineer of record. A second expansion tank was required in order to accommodate the needs for the school. That work is complete. The change order has been reviewed with our client for approval as well. That concludes my report on field orders and change orders.
Move to accept report.
Thank you.
Reports are accepted. Motion to adjourn.
So
Or
moved.
gotta-
Just,
go ahead.
just real quickly, if you don't mind, just a quick update
Oh, yes.
regarding other reports and developments. Um, Just a brief update for today. On September 19th, PBC was honored to serve as a panelist at Hacia's Vertical Design Panel and Networking event. Also participating were other colleagues from the Capital Development Board, University of Illinois, and DuPage County. It was a great opportunity for the team to discuss transformative projects that are shaping Chicago's landscape with a spotlight on innovative engineering and architectural opportunities. Hacia is one of our valued assist agencies providing a positive impact to residents and their families. Tomorrow, September 26th, we plan to host our 4th Assist Agency Conference as part of our commitment to continue to strengthen partnerships with our assist agencies and proactively work on strategies to better support small, minority, and women-owned businesses. The intent of the conference is to continue to maintain an open communication regarding procurement opportunities and enhanced outreach efforts. With our ongoing dialogue with the assist agencies and their membership, we are continue to support each other in meaningful ways. That concludes my report.
Move to accept report.
Reports are accepted. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you. Meeting is adjourned.